Welcome to Profit Knocks,
a show about why to invest in real estate, how to do it the right way, what to buy, when to sell, and where to look.
We talk to successful experts, unlock global opportunities, and show you ways to reach what matters most.
Profits.
Hello and welcome to Profit Knocks. I'm your host, Denise Katarabic. Today we're going to be talking all about the beautiful country of Costa Rica. Did you know that according to Happy Planet Index, Costa Rica is the happiest place on earth to live? I need to go there. It's a beautiful country of about 5 million people with the capital of San Jose, and we're going to be talking all about why Costa Rica is such a hot investment market right now. And with me, joining me, is George Vega, and you are the Chief Operation Officer at Interproperties, real estate developer, investor, founder of Rapid Offer, a property investment company. And we have the lovely Maria Vargas. You are an attorney at Cresco Legal, and your specialization is immigration. And that's pretty much our pinpointed topic today. We're going to be talking about immigration because investors are coming over. They're going to want to know the process of becoming a resident in Costa Rica. Thank you both for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Maria, let's start with immigration. When an investor wants to come over, do they need to become a resident of Costa Rica?
It is not a requirement. However, it is a good option to always have a backup plan, to have a residency in another country, to move here once you're retired, or to have vacation, or just to come and visit every now and then.
And how does one go about that process of becoming a resident in Costa Rica?
Once you have purchased a property, once you have invested here, because we're going to talk about real estate investment, once you have invested in a house or in a property of $150,000, then you can start the residency process here in Costa Rica. We will request for a few documents, and then the law firm will take care of filing those documents before the immigration department.
So no matter what you invest in, you have to make that goodwill investment of $150,000. And what does that show? That you're serious about investing in Costa Rica?
That is correct. That you're serious of investing here and staying here.
Okay.
Right. And what's important to understand is that if you're investing a large scale amount of money into a new country, that you're going to want this type of residency as, Maria said, your backup, right? Your backup for anything that you have to do legally, you have to return, and tie up any kind of investments that you might have, and or live in Costa Rica.
Can you live in Costa Rica, Maria, if you have made that investment? Can you live there full time, or do you need to return to your original country?
That is an excellent question. Actually, you can go to your original country whenever you want, and you can live here. But there is a very important part that if you don't come in 2 years, once your residency has been approved, they will cancel it. So you will have to be here at least once in those 2 years.
So every 2 years you need to return to keep your investment safe.
Yes, that is correct. It is preferable for you to be here more than once in those 2 years. But if you're not coming here for that period, then your residency will be canceled.
That makes sense. It's almost like abandoning pretty much,
right.
your investment. You're saying, "Hey, I'm out of here." Coming back every 2 years, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Yes, and then how long are you required to stay any certain length of time once you return? Like, let's say you come. I can't imagine why someone would only come once every 2 years. Right. You'd think they'd want to come much more often, and I'm sure they do. But how long do they have to stay in Costa Rica before they can leave the country and keep their investment safe?
I'm sorry. Yes, you don't have to stay here for a specific amount of time, but you will have to come every more than once in 2 years.
Okay.
Right. And I think what's important to know is that, Maria's explaining to us the customs of Costa Rica and how to get your residency, right?
Right.
But at the same time, as an investor, you also have to ask the same questions of the country that you come from, saying, hey, how long can I be out of my country before I'm considered an expat, right?
All right.
How long can I be out of my country before, I get a call saying, hey, are you coming back?
Right. So Maria, do you help clients with that kind of thing? Like would you be able to tell them, yes, you can't be out of the United States for this long before they consider you an expat? Is that something you can help your investor clients with?
I think that is something that we could help, but it will have to be a case-by-case scenario that we will have to study.
Okay. So tell me, what kind of people are moving into Costa Rica? What kind of investors are you seeing?
Mostly Americans and Canadians. These
Okay.
are like the top two people that are moving here.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
One of the things that, especially within my culture, is that we're now second, third, fourth generation in, and we're now investing in other places like our, other countries where our parents came from, right?
All right.
So are you seeing that as well? More children of Costa Ricans going and investing in Costa Rica?
No,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah, that is not the case. I have only seen Americans and Canadians. Well, mostly American and Canadians.
Okay. It's those
And
people that want to get out of the snow, right? And the cold weather and come for your beautiful climate.
And as you heard from the clients, they're all in a specific age, and they are interested on investing here and having a residency just to have that backup plan.
So are you seeing a lot of second home purchases? Are you seeing a lot of people come to Costa Rica to retire?
Yes,
That's fantastic.
That's a big area of your, and then so you will guide someone completely through this immigration process. How complicated is it?
for the client, it's not complicated at all. We will request a series of documents. Once we have them, we will file them before the immigration department, and the client just has to present those documents, and that will be the most difficult part, to gather them. Then from that on, we will handle everything.
Maria, I want to retire in Costa Rica, right? And I have children here in the United States. And let's say that, I go over there and I retire and I become a full resident. Okay? Are there any privileges for the children of those now full residents?
Your family can apply with you if they're underage, or if they're single, under 25.
That's wonderful.
Okay. How U.S. friendly is Costa Rica?
I think it's very US friendly. We're very used to the American visits here in Costa Rica, so we're very used to dealing and exchanging cultures with Americans.
Okay.
Now,
And even though our cultures are very different, I think the beauty of the country is what can connect us the most.
I agree.
Yeah.
So Maria, we're going over there to Costa Rica. We're going to invest some money in Costa Rica, start creating something that matches the landscape, right? And complements your country. In that process, how long will it take for me to have my residency?
Okay, so once we file the documents, it usually takes up to 1 year to have a final resolution. However, once you file the document, you will have a specific form with a number that you can present in customs, saying that you have already applied for a residency here in Costa Rica, so you don't have any problems.
So, but once you apply for that residency and that year goes by, do you need to leave Costa Rica periodically, or can you now stay in the country for as long as you
You can
want?
stay in the country just by having the resolution that you have filed.
Okay.
residency.
So they almost issue you a permit card, right? During the process of you getting your residency.
That is correct.
Okay.
How many
You have
clients?
a
Oh, go ahead.
you have the proof that you have already filed a residency and that you have already invested here. So that should suffice.
Okay. And did you answer, George, how long before you can actually become a full Costa Rican citizen? And then you never leave the country, you're going to retire and stay there forever?
Well, I think it's 1 year.
It's 1
Well,
year.
up to 1 year.
That's just not a long time.
Not at
If
all.
you're serious about Costa Rica, that is not a long time.
Right. I mean, if you consider some of the customs of United States, sometimes it takes many years
Yes.
for someone to gain citizenship here. So you're doing it over there, and it's a year, right? And I think we touched it on a last episode with Adrian that investing large-scale buildings in Costa Rica takes about a year. So you're almost in line.
Right. To see it through.
To see it through, right.
Right.
Exactly. That's fantastic.
How busy? Oh, go ahead, Maria. I'm sorry.
Sorry, the process is supposed to be 90 days for them to have a resolution. However, at this moment, we have a lot of applications going on in the immigration department. That is why they are taking up to 1 year. It could be less.
Wow.
Oh, that was going to be my next question to you. How many clients are you serving right now when it comes to immigration in Costa Rica? How many are you seeing coming over?
At this moment, for this year, I think like around 20, 30.
Okay.
That's a good number of people saying, I want my Costa Rican residency.
Right.
That is incredible.
And all of those people are investing in Costa Rica, correct?
Or they have already invested.
Or they have already invested. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because, for example, if you invested $200,000 10 years ago and you want to apply now, you have the proof that you have invested
Okay. Okay.
and you can file those documents.
All right. What would you say, Maria, is your biggest tip for people who want to invest in Costa Rica and are looking at the immigration process?
The best tip is to have all the information and all the contacts in order to get the documents that you're going to be requested for. I think that's the most important part and the most difficult part for the clients to gather the documents, because sometimes you have an American passport and American citizenship, and you need to get a birth certificate, let's say from Japan.
Okay.
So requesting the documents take a little bit of time.
How many documents are we talking about that someone has to, and which documents do they need to gather?
It's the birth certificate. If you're applying with your husband or wife, then it will be the marriage certificate and also the criminal records, but that will be from the country that you have lived in the last 3 or 5 years.
Okay. All right.
How far back do you go in history in getting information? Because I know in some processes it's like, okay, we need your parents' birth certificates. We also need your grandparents' birth certificates. How far back do you go?
It's just your personal information, just your birth certificate, just your criminal records, and your spouse marriage certificate.
Do they give presidency to certain industries? So let's say I work in, banking. Well, do they give me a faster process because I'm working in banking? Or let's say that I am, going to work for a major company out in Costa Rica. Do they give it a better, faster process to those people?
No, it has no difference. Just if you have invested, then that will be the specific line where your residency is going. And you have mentioned something very, very important. When you have a residency card, it is not permanent yet. You cannot work unless it is for a self-business.
Okay. So how long before you can work in Costa Rica then? I'm assuming you meaning it's more than a year, more than the year we
Yeah,
talked
it's
about.
more than a year. Once you have your residency for 2 years, then you can renew it and apply for a permanent residency.
Okay.
Fantastic. So, and I guess I want to call it a loophole because that's just the way we talk here. Owning your LLC allows you to do business in Costa Rica, right, as you're getting your residency. Am I right?
Correct. That is correct, but that will be a self-owned business. You cannot be under a payroll, but you can have a self-owned business.
Okay.
Fantastic.
That operates. Yeah. Is there anything you, either of you would like to add that we haven't touched on you feel is important before we wrap this up?
I think we have covered all the matters, and the specific thing that I wanted to add was about working here, because that is a very common question. Can I be hired by a Costa Rican company? No, you cannot be hired by a Costa Rican company, because here we have like a tier of people that you can hire, and you need to give priority to Costa Rican people. You will have to be, for example, a NASA engineer. That this cannot be found anywhere in the country, that you have a specialty in quantum physics. So that way it will apply for them to hire you, but it's very, very specific.
I missed it by 1 degree.
I know. I was going to say, well, I'm fine then. I can go there and work. So when can someone eventually work though in Costa Rica if they have their full residency?
Once your residency is permanent, yes.
Okay.
You will not have a restricted condition.
And my guess is it's we're going there to build large-scale buildings, right? We're investing a large amount of money, so we're creating jobs.
Not searching them out. Correct.
Exactly. Right. That's the goal, and that's why having that LLC, and again, we spoke about this in our previous episode, which you can find on our site. We spoke about this. Having that LLC covers you and helps you in the process of living out there and working out there.
Right. You guys call it a limitada, correct, Maria?
That is correct, yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very, very much for talking with us today, Maria.
Maria, thank you.
It was nice to meet you.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you for watching or listening, and we really hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you found this show useful but would like to learn even more, we have an amazing library of free guides, tips, and shows that you can download and explore anywhere, anytime. Just click on the link below or go to ProfitKnox.com. Also, every week we publish a new list of investment opportunities personally analyzed and researched by our team. So please make sure you subscribe to our newsletter. Fill out that contact form and follow us on all major podcast and video platforms. Until the next time, happy profits.